Fry. Hello there. We've got meteorologist Erika Paige standing by, here to tell us about the forecast. We're expecting a decent weekend with a lot of things going on, but it's going to begin with rain.
It will, and it will begin with a little bit of warmer weather as well. So if you are kind of been itching, maybe in that category, to get some warmer air back in here after talking about snow earlier this week, this is going to be the opportunity to enjoy it. We've got a little bit of cloud cover that you can kind of tell that's moved in from your Jack Casino camera looking out over the Cuyahoga River. That is going to be an increase in clouds that we're going to continue to hold through the overnight tonight. And it really is all accompanying a warm front. So what that warm front will do is it'll actually help to improve the temperature as we go through those overnight hours. And it will gradually increase your southerly wind as well, which helps build in a little bit of moisture, all out ahead of this next cold front that rolls through headed into tomorrow. So yes, rain is in the forecast. It's just not going to be a complete washout, and that's what's good for us. Outside right now, temperatures are sitting mid to upper 40s to low 50s for areas basically I-77 westward. If you're east of there, temperatures a little bit cooler, upper 30s to about lower 40s. So a little bit of a difference in temperature, just kind of depending on where you're at. You'll notice with that incoming cloud cover, you're probably not going to lose a lot of the heat that you have through the next couple of hours as we kind of just wait basically for that next opportunity for rain to roll in. So next few hours, yes, your wind still remains out of the south. You'll see that temperature improving. In fact, I really think kind of the coolest temperatures will happen here within the next hour or so. And then we're really going to start to see that better opportunity for more of that heat to build in by sunrise tomorrow. It's possible we could get a stray shower through the overnight. I just don't think most of us are going to be dealing with rain as we wake up early on your Saturday. But come the afternoon and evening, all of a sudden that cold front starts to knock on our doorstep, and it does bring back that better opportunity for rain. We'll talk about what the rest of the weekend holds coming up in just a few minutes. And namely, as we get into the late afternoon, early evening hours, that's all associated with that cold front. Maybe we get an isolated rumble of thunder in the mix just because temperatures will be in that low 60-degree territory, but they won't stay there for long because once that front moves through, you're going to be working in so much cooler air from the north that may source a few showers for us as we get into your Sunday. Not for everybody, mainly for areas east of Cleveland because of the way that northwest wind will likely steer some of that moisture into the region. And then we do have a couple more opportunities for rain this next week, though even those, well, at least one of them, is probably not going to impact the vast majority of northeast Ohio. There's your moisture just off to our northwest. It's going to take some time to build that in, so short-term forecast, not looking too bad. We're going to build in those clouds through the overnight tonight as a warm front passes through, which allows that temperature to improve gradually as we head into the overnight. It could spark an isolated shower. I just don't think a lot of us are going to have to contend with much in the way of rainfall through the first half of the day. Now, once you get into the afternoon, that starts to become a different story because temperatures are back into the upper 50s to lower 60s, and you are building in a little bit more of that moisture all out ahead of the cold front. But even then, it's not a washout afternoon. You'll notice by 4 o'clock, a lot of us are still dry, but that cold front is knocking on our doorstep. So as it quickly moves to the southeast, it will spark a few showers. Again, maybe an isolated rumble of thunder. And as quickly as it moves through, it's going to clear out of here pretty fast and really leave us pretty dry and quiet as we head into tomorrow night. And it's going to take then some time to work in that northwest wind and eventually pile in the moisture. Where I think you're going to have bigger impacts with, say, rain, maybe even some lake effect snow, that's going to be well off to our east. We just have a couple spotty showers that may try to work in. Again, key here, east of Cleveland. So if you're coming to the Browns game, I don't think this is going to be a huge issue for you Sunday afternoon. But you may get a little bit of mixing for our eastern zones, especially in some of that higher terrain. Outside of that, it's a pretty dry wrap up to the weekend, but it will be a windy one. Winds are going to be gusting through the day tomorrow, upwards of 30 to 35 miles per hour. It will get gustier as that cold front actually makes its way through. And then we're going to hold on to that 30 to 35 mile per hour wind gust headed into your Sunday. So factor that in when you're talking temperatures at best into the middle 40s. For some of us, may only be the lower 40s. So wind chill values are going to be well into the 30s to wrap up the weekend. So that's why we're saying if you're going to be headed out and about, maybe to the Browns game, make sure you're bundled up at least a little bit to kind of cut some of that wind. We're going to stay cooler than average for us Monday, Tuesday, and especially, into your Wednesday. We're going to be watching for a little bit more of that rain to be working back in Thursday into Friday. That's as your next big system comes in, and it will likely bring us your best opportunity for rain, but also a big kind of cool down for us as we get into next weekend.